Hi, so it is Mrs. Monroe again, back with Chapter 3, Vocab. Here we go. The first word is cavort. It is a verb. It means to romp or prance around, to make merry. The synonym for that word is gambol, G-A-M-B-O-L. There's no antonym. An example of a sentence would be, the actors in the musical cavorted on stage. So cavorting is romping and jumping around, but there's like, the connotation is very silly, jumping around. The next word is credence. It is a noun. It means belief or mental acceptance. A synonym would be credit or trust. An antonym is disbelief or skepticism. An example sentence is, the government and the public failed to give credence to the reports of an impending water shortage. So credence is definitely a positively toned word. It is a good thing, right? You would want someone to have credence in you, belief, acceptance of maybe a point that you're trying to make. The next word is decry. It's a verb, so you can add an ing or an ed to it. It means to condemn, express strong disapproval. So a synonym would be denounce. An antonym would be to commend or extol, E-X-T-O-L. An example sentence is, every arm of government and every educational institution should decry bigotry in all of its forms. So decry is to have a strong disapproval of something, like you're openly saying that it's not good and you want nothing to do with it. Dissemble, it's a verb, and it means to disguise or conceal, deliberately give a false impression. So you know this is probably going to be a negatively toned word. It's a verb, so it's something that a person does. A synonym is to mask or feign, F-E-I-G-N. An example sentence is, the young man was unable to dissemble his feelings and admitted to having committed the crime. This word is often seen with criminal activity when someone is trying to conceal what they're doing. They're dissembling their real intentions. Never a good thing. Distraught. It's an adjective, and it's very much agitated or upset as a result of an emotional or mental conflict. You're not agitated by like a fist fight, you know, it's not that kind of agitation. It's you have something emotional going on and it's making you really, really upset. So this is definitely a negatively toned word, and it's when someone is upset because of an emotional weight they have on them. A synonym is distracted, and an antonym would be calm and collected. An example sentence is, the workforce became distraught in the wake of the 1926 stock market crash. So they were very, very upset because of an emotional thing that was going on. Eulogy is a noun. It is a formal statement of commendation or high praise. A synonym would be an encomium or a tribute. An antonym is invective, I-N-V-E-C-T-I-V-E. The best friend and longtime law partner of the deceased delivered the eulogy at a funeral. It's called a eulogy almost always in reference to the speech given at a funeral. And it's usually a speech talking about how good the deceased person is. You don't really give a eulogy at a graduation ceremony, for example. Usually this word always comes with a funeral or the passing of someone and people praising the deceased. Evince, it is a verb, and it means to display clearly, to make evident, or to provoke. The synonym is exhibit or manifest. No antonym. The crowd did not evince any signs of panic, but moved in an orderly fashion to the nearest exits. So it's to exhibit, to show, right? You evince your displeasure at, I don't know, your mom's cooking by making some unhappy noises when she put it on the table, right? It's to display clearly. Exhume, This is a verb, and it means to remove from a grave, to bring to light. A synonym is to disinter, D-I-S-I-N-T-E-R. An antonym is to bury. Okay, so suspecting foul play, the coroner issued an order to exhume the body immediately. This word almost always comes with talking about bringing a dead body up from the ground. You don't really like exhume your lunch from your backpack. That's not really, to bring to light. You don't use it in that way. Like I said, most often it has to do with digging up a dead body. Feckless, it's an adjective, and it means lacking in spirit or strength. Ineffective or weak, irresponsible or unreliable, so this is definitely a negatively toned word. Synonym would be incompetent. An antonym would be capable. So, an example sentence, although a feckless youth, he eventually matured into a hardworking and responsible citizen. So this is describing something. So like the feckless youth, the feckless behavior of the employee got him fired. Okay? You would not want a team of feckless cheerleaders, for example. Murky, adjective. It means dark and gloomy or obscure, lacking in clarity or precision. A synonym is dim, and an antonym would be clear or transparent. Many visitors have claimed to see a mysterious creature in the murky waters of Loch Ness in Scotland. Normally, murky is going to describe, a lot of times you see it with weather or water, or like some body of water, like the example sentence there, the murky waters. Or sometimes an argument can be considered murky because it's hard to understand, it's lacking clarity. Nefarious, it's an adjective, and it means wicked or depraved. These are your villains, and it doesn't just mean like bad, like you're a bad person. It's a nasty, wicked, evil person. The synonym for that would be reprehensible, and an antonym would be virtuous. Brutus and Cassius hatched a nefarious plot to assassinate Julius Caesar. So again, nefarious plot, nefarious behavior, a nefarious villain. It's not just being like a little bit bad, it's being like incredibly evil. Piquant, it's an adjective, and it means stimulating to the taste or mind, spicy or pungent. A synonym would be zestful. An antonym is bland. This makes me think of like picante sauce, it's like real spicy Mexican sauce you put on your tacos. The chef was an expert in making those piquant dishes that are characteristic of South Indian cooking. As you can see in the example sentence, you most often see this to describe food that's really spicy. Primordial, it's an adjective, developed or created in the very beginning, going back to the most ancient times. Only a synonym here, and the synonym is original. The primordial stages of most civilizations are founded on common needs met by common goals. So you're always going to see this word to describe primordial stages or a primordial era or like some primordial time period. Means something that happened way back when whatever it was first started. Propinquity, it's a noun. It means nearness in place or kinship. The synonym is similarity. The antonym is remoteness. The propinquity of the two cities has created a greater metropolitan area that in effect is one city. So keep this in mind as far as nearness in place or time. It's not really like you would sit, I don't know, in propinquity. You wouldn't really say that. You would say you would want to live in propinquity to your place of work. You'd want to live close or near to it. Unwanted. It's an adjective, and it means not usual or expected. The synonym is unusual. The antonym is typical or usual. The listless student answered with unwonted spirit when the subject of military tactics was raised. So it's going to describe something not usual or expected. So the unwanted behavior of the student got him kicked out of class. The unwanted outfit made everyone turn and stare. So it's not the usual or expected. Someone's like your mom figured out you were upset because of your unwanted behavior at the dinner table. Utopian. It's an adjective, and it means founded upon or involving a visionary view of the ideal world. It's not real. It's not really going to happen. It's like a perfect version of something. The synonym is idealistic. The antonym is realistic. A number of American religious groups like the Shakers have built separate communities based on utopian schemes. So again, it's founded upon a visionary view of how you want things to go. So a utopian vision of, I don't know, the cafeteria would be that everybody gets along and patiently waits in line and no one cuts in front of each other. It's this perfect view of something that's kind of impractical, but like a utopian vision, a utopian idea. Next one. Verbiage. It is a noun, and it is language that is too wordy or inflated in proportion to the sense or content. It's being too wordy, too long, not needed kind of thing. Synonym for that is diction or jargon, Jargon. The contract was full of meaningless verbiage that seemed destined to confuse the layperson, somebody who wouldn't know any better. So verbiage is just giant, overblown language that's not needed. Like, I would not like if you put a lot of verbiage in an essay, because it's just inflated. It's more than what's needed. You're just kind of filling up space. That's considered verbiage. Verdant. It is an adjective, and it means green in tint or color, or immature in experience or judgment. The tourists on safari traveled over the verdant grasslands of Kenya. Synonym would be naive, Naive, and the antonym would be barren, Barren. So again, verdant is green, like actually the color green, or it means being inexperienced. So the verdant freshman wandered aimlessly in the hallway. Okay, the verdant driver didn't know if she should turn right on red. So, or you went outside and enjoyed the verdant fields. Again, both times there I use it as an adjective. The next word is viscous. It is an adjective, and it means having a gelatinous or gluey quality, lacking in easy movement or fluidity. A synonym for that is sticky, and an antonym for that would be watery. The varnish left a viscous residue on the wood that was hard to remove. Again, so viscous is really going to have to do with things that are like gluey and sticky. Usually it's kind of like a negatively toned word. You don't really like things that are viscous, usually. There's some exceptions to that, but again, it's like something that's gluey or tacky or sticky. Last word, substantive. It is an adjective, and it means real or having a solid basis. The synonym is firm or meaty, and the antonym is imaginary or unreal. The candidate dismissed the silly questions, but took the time to answer the most substantive ones. So the ones that are real are having a solid basis, the ones even worthy of discussing. So the essays that are the most substantive are the ones that receive the highest grades. The ones that are real or have a solid basis. They're meaningful and on topic. Okay, so you would want to have a substantive conversation with, I guess, your best friend, right? So you're having like a real conversation about something meaningful. So, and remember, hashtag parts of speech matter. Look at that sentence. I propinquities my best friend because I love being near her. No. Propinquities is not a verb. That makes no sense. You'll sound silly. Okay. Bye.